I've cooked sweet potato pancakes several different ways, and this is my favorite recipe for making them. They're simple, fluffy, and more exciting and flavorful than regular pancakes. Let's begin by poking some holes in 2 sweet potatoes before roasting them at 400 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes. You can also cook them in the microwave to speed up the process, but I always feel like they come out better in the oven. Once they're fully cooked and slightly cooled down, you can remove the skin before placing them into a large bowl. Then start mashing them very well with a fork or potato masher. For the sake of the recipe, I'm measuring out 1.5 cups of mashed sweet potato, but it's very easy to adjust the amount of milk you add later, so it's alright if you use slightly more or slightly less. Next, crack 2 eggs into the potato. Then pour in 3/4 cup of whole milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 4 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. Mix that together very well, since we don't want to overmix the batter when we add the dry ingredients. And those will consist of 1 cup all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, and finally, an optional pinch or about an 1/8 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg before stirring it all together. Now, drop in the dry ingredients into the wet and carefully fold them together with a rubber spatula. You don't want to mix too much because that can prevent the pancakes from becoming fluffy. So the goal is just to stir until there are no more dry spots of flour remaining and then stop. My batter was a little too thick, so I poured in an additional 2 tablespoons of milk. You're going for a consistency that is much thicker than normal pancake batter, but will still fall off your spoon. Now, in a large skillet on medium heat, begin dropping in large spoonfuls of the batter, and then slightly flatten it out with the back of your spoon. I've found that with sweet potato pancakes, the exterior comes out with more of a crisp and better color if you don't add any oil or butter to the pan, which is fine because there's already plenty of butter inside the batter. After you place a few pancakes at a time into the pan, try not to touch them for 3 to 4 minutes or so they can form a nice crust. Once they're nicely browned on the bottom and the top is beginning to look dry, you can flip them over and let them finish on the second side for about 2 minutes. Then remove them to a plate and continue on with the other batches. This recipe will make about 12 medium-sized pancakes. When you're ready to eat, stack them up and of course serve with butter and maple syrup. These are fun to make and have a fantastic flavor and texture. Please write any questions or thoughts in the comments and let me know if you plan on trying these out. Thank you for watching.